Sparkles here. Okay, we got another bird. You want to know what's chapping my britches today? Let's talk about interest rates on credit cards. Let's really talk about this one. We are being punished for all kinds of things in this country that maybe could be restructured to be more beneficial to the health of the people. I think credit card companies should be paid a fair interest rate for lending money and for us using their money, whoever it is, whether it's a bank, private lender, whatever. They should be paid a fair rate, whatever we agree to. What I think is ridiculous, as a matter of fact, I'm going to call it usury and high crimes on the finance world, in the finance world, from the finance world. When you get a credit card, they tell you all that little tiny print, which I can't even read it anymore. I got to use a magnifying glass. So, they say, well, if you're late, you're going to get paid a late fee. All these things they tell you they could do. If the economy goes bad, we can up your interest rate. If your credit report goes down, we can up your interest rate. If you're late on a different payment than your credit card payment, we can up your interest rate. Well, that's bad enough. If you're late 1 month, maybe you should have to pay a late fee or something. But then the very next month, the interest rate should go back to some normal rate. They can change your interest rate permanently. They can just change it and up it and up it. And I think it's gotten out of hand. We license a lot of people in our society. Well, maybe we need to have a little bit stronger regulation on interest rates. These credit card companies wondering why people going bankrupt on them and dumping them right and left. That's what you get when you're using people too bad. When you're actually giving them a bad shake. I want to say something else, but I don't want to be cussing on the YouTube. But it kind of matches with a screwdriver, What I'm saying here is, our country is based on free enterprise, and we need to keep that system alive. However, there are laws against usury. Well, when you start adding all the penalties on top of the interest, on top of the, for God knows whatever reason somebody sneezed, and we're going to up the interest rate, it is usury, and it's high crimes, and it's high time that it stopped. We can do this being fair without really bending people over, because those are the people that keep this thing going. And I think that we have to intervene somewhere to where people are treated a little bit, more fairly is what I want to say. Hello? Is anybody awake out there? Earth to anybody? When are we going to do things in a way that is beneficial to the people all the way around the board? It can't hurt people to have fair interest rates and not have something so outrageous going on that it's choking everybody. We'd have less bankruptcies, we'd have less foreclosures if we could get a control on this system. It's not fair. Just like all these big corporations and all these big boys that make all these monies. They make all this big money for being corporate CEOs. Well, some of that money that they're getting bonuses and all for doing whatever they're doing should be filtered back into their companies or into a benefit for the employees. How many of the big CEOs will waive their bonus to give their lower managers a little bit extra profit because they deserve it for running right? Whatever happened to things like the 1 minute manager and people managing people by helping them to do their work without nailing them to the wall? There's too much, and I'm not into socialism, communism. I believe in free enterprise, but there's too much money going out the back door. And it needs to be staying in the system to help the system and the people working for it. If we would get that straight, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of things would be better. But I think that the average guy is being choked by interest rates that are just too horrible. That just chaps my britches. That's all I gotta say.